Hey everybody, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today I just wanted to do a quick problem on inequalities and putting the answers in both set notation and interval notation. So let's take a look at this problem right here, and then we also want to graph the solution at the end. So they give us an inequality. Notice this is a strict inequality here, which means there's no extra line indicating that it's an equals, and this is a not a strict inequality, which means we include the endpoints when it's not strict. And that's going to matter when we write this in the different types of notation. So let's first go ahead and solve this. The big difference between solving something like this and solving an equality is that whenever we multiply or divide by a negative number to each side, we have to switch the inequality around. So if it's a less than, we switch it to a greater than. In this case that we're doing today, we're not going to encounter that, but we do need to look out for that. Whenever we multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, we have to flip the operator, these symbols right there. All right, so let me go ahead and hold on just a moment here. All right, so in order to start solving this, the first thing I want to do, and I'm just going to kind of write this in, is make it okay. So we're going to add, excuse me, we're going to subtract 2 from each of our 3 areas, right? Because these inequalities break it into 3 different parts, and we need to subtract 2 from each part because we're trying to get this x term here by itself. So if we do that, we're going to have negative 2 is less than 3x, and that's going to be less than or equal to 5 minus 2 is 3. All right, now that we have this together, we're going to divide each side by 3 in order to get this x by itself. So divide by 3, divide by 3, and we're going to divide by 3. So this over here, we can just leave it just like that. So that's negative 2/3 is less than, that's going to give us x, that's why we divided by 3 there, which is less than or equal to 1. So x is between these two numbers here. It's going to be greater than negative 2/3, and it's going to be less than or equal to 1. So if I had a number line, if I had 0, I had a 1 over here, and a negative 1 over there, we notice that it is going to go to about negative 2/3, which is about right there, and it's going to go all the way until we get to 1 over there. And I put a parentheses because it's a strict inequality. It does not include the negative 2/3, but since we have that extra line here, it does actually include the 1, so I put a bracket. So now let's go ahead and put this in the set notation. In set notation, we are going to write it something like this, and I'll show you how to read it as well. You're going to have one of these kind of squiggly brackets. I can't remember exactly what those are called, but we do x, and then we put a straight line down, so it's x such that, and then we're basically just going to write this out right here. So x such that negative 2/3 is less than x, which is, let me get that, which is less than x, which is less than or equal to 1. And then we kind of close that up like this. So this here is set notation. It's set notation. And it reads as this. X such that x is greater than negative 2/3 and less than or equal to 1. Now that's kind of a lot of writing, and we're going to find the interval notation. It's going to be a little bit quicker for this. And for interval notation, we start with the bottom number, which is the negative 2/3, And we're going to see if we include that negative 2/3 or not, which we know, oops, right, negative 2/3. We don't include it, so we're going to put a parentheses there. That's because it's a strict inequality. There's no extra line. And then we just put a comma, and then we're going to put the last number, which is 1. And we're going to see if we include that or not, which we do, because we have the extra line there. So we're going to put a bracket. And this right there is interval notation. This is set notation. And then the last thing they want us to do is they want us to graph this. So really, that's what we just did right here. I kind of did that in the beginning. But all you're doing is you're going to just do a number line, and you're going to see where it starts. If it includes it, then we put a bracket. If it doesn't include it, we do a parenthesis, and then we put the end there. All right. If anybody has any questions, just shoot me an email or give me a call, and we'll see you next time.